Are you ready?
Hey peeps, how's it going? Let me just say I'm going to take the victory, okay? Because winning in Philadelphia is super tough. I personally didn't think the Lions were going to pull this one out, but Philadelphia had some bad breaks. Their receivers just couldn't catch some of the balls that were right in their hands, thrown beautifully. So you got to take the breaks where you can get them. These referees were terrible for both sides. Tons of missed calls, and the calls that they did make weren't penalties. And that was for both teams. So you can't say that the Lions got screwed. You can't say Philadelphia got screwed because those refs were terrible for both sides. I don't know how that wasn't a face mask on the Lions on that kick return. I don't know how that was unnecessary reference on Jared Davis. It was just bad both ways. All in all, I'm taking the victory because next week the Lions have to play Kansas City, and there is, I said on the pregame show, a 10 to 15% chance of the Lions winning. That has downgraded to 5%. There is no way we're beating Kansas City. This team cannot close out ball games. Okay, they had several opportunities, probably 3 or 4 in the fourth quarter to close it out, and they couldn't do it. And it comes on Matthew Stafford. Part of it is on Stafford. Stafford had a few throws there where the clock should have still been running, and he just couldn't make them. That possession that ended up getting the field goal blocked, I'm not sure what we were calling there. Why are you passing the ball instead of making Philadelphia call timeouts? Against teams like Kansas City that are at full strength, well, they're not really at full strength, but they're going to be better than Philadelphia, not knocking Philadelphia. That's going to cost you. When you have a chance to close out a game, you have to do it. You can't keep giving these teams, especially on the road, second chances. This is what's cost the Lions so many times. So many times. This Lions team's a great three-quarter team. For the first three quarters, they looked like they controlled the pace of the game. They looked like they could do no wrong. Come fourth quarter, it all falls apart. We have to get that adrenaline rushing. We have to get that sense of drama and stuff. And that's stuff that I don't think Patricia's going to fix. It's just week after week, it's the same thing. You have the game won, and you can't close it out. At the end of the day, this team should be 3-0, but I'll take the 2-0-1. We're still undefeated. Got to play Kansas City next week, like I said. We're not going to win that. So we will officially get our first loss next week, but it's okay. If you go 4 weeks into the season and get your first loss, I'll take that every time. If you can play 3-1 for every month of the football, I'm going to gladly take that. However, you are not 3-1. You're 2-0-1. Agnew played good. I was glad to see him take that to the house. That was awesome to see. Looks like he's got his confidence back, and I said last week I don't think he's going to be the same after his injury, and hopefully he proved me wrong. What else? Trey Flowers, invisible today. Not really too much there. We jumped a lot offsides. Again, penalties is another key factor for this team that could have cost us. There's a lot of things that could have cost us. We are very lucky to get this win. We did not play a very good game. Special teams almost cost us. They almost took that to the house. That would have been game. Penalties hurt us really bad. You have to play better. And I know it's still early in the season, but when you have an opportunity to play a playoff team in their place and win, you can't make those mistakes. This is going to be a tough race to win the NFC North. Minnesota, Green Bay, and Chicago all look pretty good right now. I don't think Minnesota's going to win it just because Kirk Cousins is their quarterback. He's just not going to win the big game for him. But you have to fix those mistakes to play those teams. You can't make those mistakes against your rivals. You can't make those against Kansas City. You got to straighten those up, nip those in the butt now, and get rid of them. There was a lot of good offensive play calls. There was a lot of times I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, I can't believe we ran that play. So I'm not just dogging it. There's just things this team has to work on. Defensively, we got to get better pressure. That one drive, we had like 2 or 3 sacks back to back. That's what I'm looking to see. Okay, we had a couple pass deflections from the line. That is good, but they're not living up to how much we're paying them. I hope Darius Slay's okay. I'm not sure what the deal with that is. Hopefully it was just a cramp. A lot of guys were getting dehydrated out there. Drink some water. Yeah, I don't understand how you're getting dehydrated out there. Drink some water, some Gatorade, cool off. Do a better job of switching your guys in and out so you don't have to run them out there. And then defensively, you have to stop getting penalties like that. There was several times we had Philadelphia on 3 and outs, or we'd get them to 3rd down and we'd do a stupid penalty. And then you do get dehydrated because they're not taking you out. So, like I said, penalties, you gotta fix that right now. Coleman played very well in the absence of Slay. Ford played pretty well in the absence of Slay. Our secondaries did a pretty good job. All in all, I like the defensive fit that we did. Pretty much took Zach Ertz out of the game. He had a couple big plays, but nothing like we were seriously hurt. We double-teamed him pretty much the whole game, and I figured that would be the case without Deshaun Jackson or Alshon Jeffrey. So I think the Lions had a good game plan, but penalties, special teams really hurt them, and not executing on offense. And I said in the pregame show that the offense was going to determine if we won the game or not. And we put up 27 points, so that's pretty good. But when they needed to execute, they didn't. So it's something to look in for. I'm not sure what to expect from this team next week. You're going to have to play a pretty much perfect game to beat Kansas City. I just don't know if we're going to have enough firepower or enough defensively, especially if Slay's out, to slow down Patrick Mahomes. So they're going to score a lot of points. They're going to have to score a lot more. So leave it down in the comments. What do you guys think about this game? I'm happy with the win, but I'm not happy with the performance, if that makes sense. Like, this should have been a better game from the Lions. They should have at least won by 10 or so. But leave it down in the comments. Right now on Micro Mike's channel, they are doing the post-game show, so be sure to check that out. Instagram, Twitter, and all DSA members in the league. So follow me on those social medias and follow those guys on YouTube, and I'll see you peeps in the next one. Peace.